Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome to podcast episode 2. So I've actually remembered my microphone, go me. So if you are catching the live video of this on Facebook, then please do say hello as you're logging in. Drop me your favourite emoji in the comments, hashtag replay when you are finding this video here on Facebook. If you're a first time listener, then please do let me know whereabouts in the world you are tuning in from. I love to know. If you are over on YouTube, then let me know in the comments if you are watching the replay of this on YouTube. And of course, if you're on the podcast, listening to this audio, then drop me some comments if you've got any questions, anything at all that you want to say about this session. I say session, this podcast episode, then please do let me know. I say session because I deliver most of my programs and course content delivery via Facebook Live. So I'm so used to saying session and diving in, and that it's just natural to me to say that. So today I want to delve straight into what we're talking about today. And I don't know whether to clip this mic. Should we just try clipping this mic? What do we think about here? I'm like, I can't tell what the sound's going to be like, but I think I'm just going to hold it. Let me hold it. There we go. Firstly, I hope you've had a great week. We've had a quite stressful week, I'll be honest. I'm not going to go into why, but behind the scenes, there's been quite a bit happening, and all is well. All is well. It's just a little bit stressful, and that's okay because we can handle it. That's what it's all about, you know. Life has its ups and downs. But that beside, what I want to delve into today is helping you get clear on what it is that you actually want, not what you think that you want. It's what you actually want. And this can be in your life, it can be in your business, it can be either, it can be both. And also in the title of this is that it will make you uncomfortable. Now, the reason it is uncomfortable, like getting really clear on what it is that you want, is you're going to fall into two categories. You're going to fall into the category of either knowing what it is that you want, or you're going to fall into the category of not having clarity and not really knowing what it is that you want. And that can feel really frustrating. And I want to sort of define how you will know what is meant for you and what it is that you actually want. Now, when I first started sort of goal setting and vision boarding and doing all of that kind of stuff, I was told and taught, I want to say the surface level vibe of, you know, getting clear on what it is that I want, setting goals, being excited, being in the vibes. And it was very much a way of, you know, setting materialistic goals, as in, where do you want to live? What type of house do you want to live in? What type of car do you want to drive? You know, what is it that you'd have that is different to now? Like, aspirationally, what do you want on a physical external level? It was all about the attributes and having more and creating more in the physical, which of course is a vibe and is exciting. But underneath that is what you actually want. So it's not actually the physical thing that you want. So for example, if you're going out there now saying that you want to manifest your dream house, you want to achieve a certain goal in your business, you want to earn a certain amount of money, you want to lose some weight, you want to gain muscle, you want to do something. Underneath that, if you ask yourself why, what I used to find in business is that a lot of women would go, well, I want to build my business, or I want to achieve this goal, or I want to do this thing for my kids, or for my partner, or for something or someone else. Because it felt like it gave them some sort of validation and approval and permission to go after what they wanted, because it wasn't actually for them. It was for someone or something else. It benefited other people. It was never fully about them. Like, I'm doing this for my kids, I'm doing this for my family, I'm doing this for my partner, I'm doing this for my friends. When was the last time you actually did something and went after something and had a dream or a goal that was just about you? And so many women avoid these types of dreams and wants and desires because they ultimately believe that it's selfish. And I know this because this is how I used to feel. I used to very much struggle as a mum with 3 kids, as a single mum with 3 kids, focusing on what it was that I actually wanted, because, you know, my main priority when I had my children was my children. They came before everything and anything. And of course, our family, our children, our friends, you know, our circle, our people, certain things in our life are important to us, like very important to us. But what I find working with so many women is that they find it really difficult to put themselves as a priority. They will quite happily disappoint themselves if it means not disappointing other people. And so when it comes to what it is that you actually want, there is a feeling that you want. And in this episode, I want you to think about what it is that you actually want, because especially as a woman, when you are serving yourself and others from a place of being like fulfilled, in overflow, in creative energy and flow and freedom, and you are in a good place, you are serving from overflow, like cuppeth is fulleth and running overeth. Like, and you are a vibe to be around. You are calm, you are excited, you are, which is contradictory, but like you can be all of those emotions, like passionate, fun, free, like just you can deal with things so much easily. Like life challenges come up, you can handle them because you're in a good place. You are serving you. A lot of conversations that I have with women are around sort of like self-care and putting themselves, like even putting themselves as a priority or first is like completely not normal for them. And I feel this is where some of the problems come from when it comes to what it is that you actually want. Because you can find yourself like chasing after things and doing things for everyone else's benefit. And then when those things are done or ticked, fulfilled, you don't feel fully satisfied, you don't feel peace, you don't feel the success that you either thought that you would or that you really deep down that your soul really craves. And so in order to get clear on what it is that you really want on a deeper level, because I don't do surface level coaching, I do deep soul level coaching and mentorship. Like we're working with like the really deep desires and wants and things that you want to create and experience and manifest and attract. It's those things that I want you to really think about following today's episode. I have a program called Goddess Goals, and my clients inside of my coaching group Immersion have been working through Goddess Goals throughout January. It's a great program to do in January. So they've all been doing that. They've all collectively been sharing their wins, sharing their lessons, sharing the depth that they've gone to when it comes to like really reflecting on, you know, how life has been going, the things that have happened, the lessons that they've learned, and then also the things that they actually want, like what they want to create, achieve and manifest this year, but then also going into how they actually want to feel, and then allowing that to lead. That then becomes the driving force of what they actually want. And how we can actually really tap into this of what we want as a like guiding ourselves. This is all about trusting yourself. With the hardest thing I find working with women is, am I making the right decision? What if I choose something and it turns out not to be the right thing? A lot of women are scared to really communicate what their desires are or what they want. And they're scared to even admit that it's something that they want. Regardless, like before they've even gone after the thing that they want. Like obviously in session 1 of the podcast, I shared about how one of my things that I wanted to do like many years ago was to try pole dancing lessons. And I'd had that inside of me thinking I'd really love, like when I saw the adverts popping up, I thought I'd really love to have a go at that. But I had a fear inside of me that what are people going to think? I was scared of being judged. I was scared of people making the wrong, like getting the wrong idea of me, or what if other people make it mean something about me because I want to like go to pole dancing lessons. It means nothing. It means nothing to anyone else. It's actually what we make it mean. So if there is something that you really want to experience, that you want to create, that you want to like have in your life and in your world, I want to ask you, like, what fears do you have or stories do you have surrounding that desire that make you feel guilt, shame, or, like I said, fear? Fear of what? Shame of what? Like guilty. If you're a mum, often it's like, well, I shouldn't put myself first. I have to put my children first before me. And the thing is, if you are not looking after yourself first, and you are not serving yourself first, then you are not going to be leading your family in the best energy. You are not showing your children like how it is to lead yourself. You lead yourself, you are showing them, you are giving them an example, especially as a woman, of how your role here in this world is not to cater to and look after everybody else first. Your role is to look after you first as a human, and then from that place you are able to serve at your fullest capacity. And so getting clear on what it is that you actually want, rather than saying you just want a new car, rather than saying that you want a house, rather than you saying that you want more money. Why is it that you want those things? What difference will it make? Identify the feelings that you will feel. Imagine already having it in your world and in your life. How would you feel? You'd feel different to how you feel now. And then it's about taking action that aligns with like the creation of those feelings. Like, what actions align with me feeling excited? What actions align with me feeling grounded? What actions align with me feeling peaceful or calm? What actions align with me feeling like creative and passionate? So for example, if you feel like you want to manifest more money and you are in a state of maybe stress right now, or pressure, or maybe it's just a desire that you have to expand and have more, then it's like how you feel now. How would you feel having that in your life now, the more money? What difference would it mean? I know from conversations with my clients, they'll say to me, I'd feel so much more at peace. I wouldn't feel stressed. I'd just feel like I could breathe. I'd feel so much more relaxed. And I'm like, that's great. Let's work on the actions that align with that now. This is how you become a magnet for manifesting. And I'm not saying that sitting still doing breath work is going to manifest money into your world, but what it does do is it changes your energetic set point. And it means that you are already experiencing and feeling how you want to feel now. So the goal is ticked, and now you move. And when you move from this frequency and from this energy, this is where people, opportunities, circumstances, the universe delivers the thing that you want, because you are an energetic match for it. It's not the other way around of, right, I need to go out there and I need to chase and I need to hustle, I need to push. You know, by you doing those things, you can like manufacture the physical into your world that way. But if you want to do it to a scale where it doesn't make sense, if you want to do it to the level where it's like a miracle has landed, and if you want to do it in a way that just makes life like more magical, more blow your mind manifestations, just more doesn't make any sense, then you have to tap into a much deeper frequency. Because surface level, especially with manifestation, will only get you so far. And yes, in the physical, you can create what it is that you want, but it's going to take you either time, it's going to cost you, it's going to mean sacrifice, it's going to mean so much more, it's going to be so much harder. And literally, this is why so many people, when they set goals in January and they say, well, I want this, and they set their goals and they set well-meaning intentions to do whatever actions it is, it's why that they've probably given up by now. It's the beginning of February and most people have given up on what their goals were at the beginning of the year. Because when they start to take the action towards what it is that they want, it feels difficult. It feels hard. It feels like a slog. It doesn't feel like them. You'll find yourself saying, who was I kidding? Why did I bother? And they go round in this cycle of self-sabotage all the time. And then they'll go, well, you know, is it really worth it? Do I really want it? I don't even know if I can be the type of person that can make this happen. You might identify with some of the things I'm saying. I've been there myself. I know how it feels. And so getting clear on what it is that you want, if you are in a place where you know you have a feeling of what it is that you want in terms of something in the physical, I want you to ask yourself, how would you really feel already having that thing in your life right now, like it's here? What feelings would you have? And then once you know what feelings it is that you want to feel, make your daily practices your aligned actions, actions that lead to you feeling those feelings now. Then make decisions. Then make moves in your life, in your business. For example, I'll give you an example of this for like my clients that I've used, and I use this as well, is one of my goals used to be, like when I'd had the kids and my body had changed, and I would eat toast and biscuits literally all the time because that's all I made time for at the time, is that I did put weight on. And to the point where, you know, when your clothes don't fit, I was like, I don't want to go out and buy more clothes. I want to fit into the clothes that I've got. I want to lose some weight. And I know that's a very popular goal at this time of year. And I wanted to, obviously my goal back then when I'd set traditional goals is, well, I want to lose weight. And the reason I want to lose weight is I want to feel this way. So the goal is, well, I'm going to lose weight. And that was the goal. And I would set my action plan. I would say, I'm going to sign up to the gym. I'm going to go and do the workouts, do the things. I'm going to drink the water, blah, 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 all the steps. And I would start taking action, obviously, in terms of signing up to the gym and drinking the water. But it would only last for a short period of time, because I would rely on motivation to keep me committed to the actions. I wasn't leading with how I wanted to feel. And so in my clients' experience of like getting clear on what they want and actually actioning that and making it happen, is if I ask them like, how do you want to feel? And what action aligns with how you want to feel? Well, I put in things in a different order. And so when the decision comes to take the action, it's not I have to do this in order to feel this. It's I desire to feel this way, and I know that this leads to what it is that I want. So then you go out and do it because you know that it makes you feel the way that you want to feel now. And so the goal, the desire, isn't like weeks away, months away, years away. You start to live it now. And as you start to live it now and experience it now and feel it now, the aligned actions that you start to take start to become easier. They start to become more effortless. And you actually start being the person that you thought it would take a long time for you to be. And this is when you are in alignment. And this is when you become a magnet for the things that you really want to manifest. Whether that's the love, whether it could be the house, the car, the money, the things. You're not doing it from a place of lack. You're not going, well, I'll be happy when I've done this. I'll be happy when I've manifested that. I'll be happy when I've lost the weight. I'll be happy when I've found the relationship. I'll be happy when we've moved house. None of that. Or I'll be satisfied when. We move in alignment. This is when I talk about alignment, this is what I'm talking about. Being in the energy and frequency of that which we desire, and then moving with that. Because that becomes far more easier. And as you do this, what will happen is as you're taking the steps and you are taking the action, this is where you'll discover who you really are. This is where you will discover all your limiting beliefs, all your fears, all your guilt, all your shame. All of this will come up as you are moving. It never comes up in the logical mind. Or you might have an idea of like, well, someone like me can't do X, Y, and Z. But when you're in like momentum, when you've got that motivation, you're all excited, you're all in the vibes. It's like, I can do this. But then as you start to move and then you start to fall off the wagon, this is where you find yourself saying, who was I kidding? I do this every year. I'm just not cut out for this. I can't do it. I wish I could do it, but, you know, someone like me just can't, like, be consistent, for example. That's just not who I am. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not responsible enough. And all of this crap comes up and you make that stop you in your tracks. And then you revert back to default, which is not what you want. And my job, my passion, is to help you get what it is that you want, because it doesn't matter what my clients want. There is no limit. But I'll say, what is it that you actually want? Because it's never a physical thing. It's a feeling. It's an energy. It's a frequency that they want to experience. They want to feel. And as a human, you have the power to generate this. You don't go out and find it. You create it. you generate it. And I show my clients like how to do this with the body, with the mind, with the spirit. You don't need anything outside of you to feel how you want to feel. You just think you do. And when the limiting beliefs come up, when the fears come up, this is when we do the work. This is when I do the work with my clients inside my coaching group, Immersion, it's this work. Like they'll share in the Telegram chat group that we've got, like, I've started doing this has come up. I've had a client in January wanting to quit vaping. And we looked at it a few different ways. I'm like, you have to choose the path that feels right for you. This isn't a, well, I know best, I know how to tell you what to do. It's like, what feels like the right next move for you to do? And so she chose her path. She started the path, she tested the path, it wasn't the path. So we're like, right, let's course correct. What feels like the right way now? She's like, cold turkey is going to be the thing. So that's what she's doing. And so it's imperative that you choose, you decide. This is why when you are following someone else's blueprint and someone else's way of doing something, that you can find that you just want to stop or check out. If you're not enjoying it, if you're finding it really difficult, if it feels like having to really push yourself to make something happen, when life is challenging enough, this is what I found as a single mum with 3 kids, 3 young kids very close in age, is life was stressful enough. Why would I want to pile even more stress on my shoulders? I wanted to make it vibes. I wanted to make it vibes wherever possible. It's like, I just want it to be vibes. Come on, like, that's what I want. So, of course, if that's what I want to feel, you know, more passionate. I want to feel more fun. I want to feel excited. I want to feel free. I want to feel all of those things. I have to create that. And so that's what I did. And so if you are at that place where you know what you want and it feels far away, or you have like you're not really sure what it is that you want because you're scared of actually admitting what it is that you want, then I challenge you after this podcast to really sit with yourself and really allow your heart to open. And I'm going to share some stories in a minute where it's like it's been difficult in some respects and uncomfortable for me to make decisions in my life to create what it is that I wanted when it means like dismantling or disrupting or breaking down what is right in front of me. That part isn't easy. And if you are listening to this and you are in a place, because I've been here as well, where you feel very disconnected, you're not sort of tapping into any form of alignment, you're not experiencing at the moment any joy or excitement, and you're finding it hard to access, and your nervous system is maybe in a state of feeling a little bit shut down or distant or shut off from feelings. You've been under a lot of stress, you know, life's been challenging, you've had one thing or another thrown at you, and you are lacking clarity. It's like the thought of vibes just makes you go, I just want peace. I don't actually know what it is that I want because life's been so crazy and so stressful and so shit that I don't actually know what I want. I've got nothing inside of me. And I've had conversations with people like this as well, where they're like, I don't actually know. And I say, okay, then you do. You just think you don't know. Wherever you are right now, if you are in a state of wherever you are at, and you are feeling a certain way, I can guarantee if you are feeling like you don't want to feel, like I'm feeling a way that I just don't want to feel anymore, but I don't know how to move out of it, then from this place here, I want you to just write down like how it is you actually feel right now. Forget the goals, forget doing anything, because that feels too hard. It's too much. You've already got things happening here. It's too much. The jump is too much. And we always start where we are with no shame. Wherever you're at right now, there is no shame. It is what it is. And you have the power to course correct and to change it. You just maybe logically think you don't, because you don't even know what to think or what to desire or what to want anymore. If you actually sit down and you grab yourself a pen and paper and you write down like how you're actually feeling right now, you might write down that you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling tired, you're feeling all of these things that you don't want to feel, you're feeling anxious, you might be feeling low, you're feeling just blocked, you can't really think outside the box. Like, just write down what's going on, because that's one thing, is making yourself aware of where you are at right now. And then once you've got that written down and you can see it in front of you, ask yourself, is this how I want to feel? And the answer 100% of the time is no. I don't want to feel this way. But I also don't know what to do. If you look at how you don't want to feel, you look at what you're experiencing now and think, I don't want that. That is a clear indicator of what you do. And this is where we sort of move out of here and we go to sort of the middle ground before we then jet off into alignment. There's no point trying to go from like rock bottom to full alignment and vibes. And this is where the toxic positivity thing comes in. You know, when you're going through a lot in your life and when you're stressed and when you're in a difficult position, it's hard to get excited. It's hard to be positive. It's hard to even connect to gratitude. And when you are a grateful person, that can feel really odd. Because it's like, well, I'm a grateful person, but I don't feel anything. I don't feel grateful. You're in a state of survival. And when you're in a state of survival, you cannot just jump out of that and go into thriving and vibes and alignment. It'll piss you off. And you won't be able to hold it there because it'll feel fake. And in my world, we don't do anything that's fake. We're not faking anything till we make it. We change identities and we choose our identities based on what we actually want. Not because we have to become or be something else or someone else. We have to be more of who we are. And when you're in a place of survival, when things have been tough, this means looking at that list of what you don't want. And then thinking, what is the actual opposite of, you know, like if you are stressed? It would be feeling relief. Feeling relaxed. If you're in a state of anxiousness and you don't want to feel that anymore, it would be taking yourself to just feeling calm. You know, I want to feel calm and I want to feel grounded. I don't want to feel this anxiousness all the time and in my body all the time. I just want to feel calm. I want to be able to breathe. And this is where we start. And you might think, well, that doesn't feel like a big roar. You know, all these people have got these amazing goals and doing these amazing things. Forget what everyone else is doing. This is your journey. Your life, whether it's your business, your goals. So think of what's the opposite. And whether it's relief, whether it's peace, whether it's calm, if you're overwhelmed and you want clarity, we look at, you know, it's not all guns blazing at this point. We look at the simple steps and the simple shifts that you can make and the actions that align with you feeling peace, with you feeling calm, with you feeling grounded. And we bring safety to the nervous system. We bring safety to the body. And we start to bring you out of that survival mode. Because when you've been in survival mode for a long time, when you've been under a lot of stress for a long time, you cannot just jump straight out of survival mode and into thriving and it feel authentic. It won't feel right and you'll find it really hard to sustain it. And this is where you'll feel like erratic and all over the place. Like you're trying to hold things together and things are all over and it's all like, we're not leading like that. In my world, it's one brick at a time, one step at a time. But the world that we live in is obsessed with speed. They're obsessed. Everyone's obsessed with having everything done yesterday. And this obsession with speed can keep us stuck where we don't want to be. Because we can feel shame for where we are. We can feel shame for how we feel. We can feel shame for how we've got to where we've got when we're in survival. We can feel guilt for the decisions that we've made. I should have done this. I should have done that. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? We can compound the survival mode and what we don't want quite easily. The brain will quite happily compound all the shit if you ask it to. And I'm sure you've done that without even realising it. And that is your brain just doing its job. You're a human. Your brain's in its primal mode of survival. So that is what it's going to do. So if you are in that place and you're listening to this today, then I want you to take a breath. As the drawer shuts on here, I want you to take a breath. and just ground yourself. Because it's this cycle of guilt and of shame that we just have to release you from in order for you to start taking the steps that align with you moving out of survival mode and back towards the path of you being in flow. So if you are in survival and you're just like, I just don't know what I want, then this is the work here. It's not going all guns blazing. It's not taking massive action. It's being gentle and patient with yourself in this time. And what I find when working with clients when they're in this mode in survival is it's often the first time that anyone's just said to them, just take time out for yourself. Just breathe. Just be calm. You know, not let's do this and let's take action here and you need to do this and be positive. And I'm like, no, if you want to be, you know, own it. Own it. And I will say at this point, the reason I hold space for my clients when they're here and if they come to me in this place is because I know that they are not this person here. I don't work with negative people. I don't work with people who are pessimistic. I don't work with people who are just constantly looking for a problem. They don't come to work with me. You know, they would say to me, oh, that crap don't work and this, that, the other and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen, babe, you're not for me. I work with women that know they are meant for more. And I work with people that are optimistic. I work with people who are willing to see the best in others, who are willing to take another step, who are willing to not give up. And it's not like from a, we're going to do this. And it's just like, I'm here. I just need an arm around me. And once I've had that time and I've had that, sometimes all it is another woman just giving compassion for another woman. And permission to be where you are. It's okay. And it's the relief. And what I find with my clients is just, it's the relief and the release of the shame and the guilt that they've been carrying for a long time in silence. The clients will come to me and they will tell me stories that they have never told a soul. Ever. Like no one knows the things that they tell me. They will share stories with me. They will share things that have happened with me. They will share their deep, ugly truths that they actually think about themselves and their life with me. And I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. There's no shame. There's no judgment. There's no anything. I'm like, let's just get all the cards on the table. Share with me what you've been holding, likely for a long, long time, on your own. Because you haven't had a safe space to be able to actually open your heart and be completely vulnerable. It's like being completely naked in front of someone. It's the most uncomfortable thing ever. And I know how it feels because I've been there myself. It's like everything inside of you is like squirming and just, it's like the last thing I want to do is like say the thing. There's emotion attached to it. My clients cry, like they get upset. There's snot bubbles. There's just tears. There's all sorts of things. This is gold. This is release. This is freedom. This is calibrating to something different. This is the body finally going, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's the body's way of saying thank you after you holding so much for so long. Release. Freedom. Energy shifts. Energy changed. All of a sudden, I feel lighter. I feel clearer. I can take this action. I feel differently. I think differently about myself. So all of a sudden, I know what I want. You're not going to believe this. I manifested this. You know, this has just dropped into my world. This has happened. Like, how is this happening? Why is this happening? Of course it is. Because you're doing the work. And we're shifting you out of survival mode and into your thriving mode, into alignment. And we hold space for that transition. There's no pressure. And so, depending on where you're at, and I'd love, like, if you want to reach out to me on DM, you can reach out to me on DM. You can drop comments in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or on the podcast. Like, do you identify with either or? Where would you say that you are right now? Does all of this make sense? Does all of this make sense? You know, there's nothing wrong with you having the desires that you have. You know, some of my clients are into some of the craziest shit that no one would ever know. No one would know. But they get to be all of who they want to be inside of my space, inside of my world. Mandy's in the house. Hello, gorgeous queen. How are you? Recording my podcast, but I'm like, I have to jump on and say hello. It's like you get to be all of you. And when, rather than you trying to be someone that you're not, and this is like for you to really live your truth. And this is, I am like very passionate about women to really live their truth in their life, because that's the foundation, and then professionally in their business, because women that I work with like have a passion and a vision and something that they really want to bring to the world. They want to help people in some capacity. And this is the thing about business, is you will go out there and you will look at what other people are doing. And rightly so, you will think, well, I have to do that if I want to be successful. And so we then start to shape ourselves. And we do this throughout our lives. We do this as kids so we can fit in. We do this at school so we can conform and fit in. We try and become someone that sometimes that we're not. We'll do things that we think, it's not really me, to try and fit in. You know, we'll say yes to things when really we mean no. Even as young adults, and as women especially, the guilt that women feel saying no to something that they really want to say, like, well, they either want to say yes to, or saying yes to something that they really want to say no to. Women are far more likely to disappoint themselves than rather disappoint other people. And in my world, I'm like, no, we're absolutely fine disappointing other people if it means not disappointing ourselves. And you have to build up to this level of like tolerance, because when you become a woman who's like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is my truth, this is me living my truth, making decisions that align with me, and then also going out there and building a brand and a business that aligns with me and who I am, that takes courage. It takes courage. You've got to be brave. Because when you lead with that type of authenticity, offline and online, then people are going to have something to say about it. And this is why people aren't always really clear on what it is that they want, because they're scared of what other people are going to think and say. Now, when I got clear, and some of the ways that I got clear on what it was that I wanted, I'm going to share one personally and one professionally. And again, clients come to me at different points in their life, like whether it's a life goal or a business goal that they've got. Some clients want to be more visible. Some clients want to like just go out there and build their brand. They're not sure. They feel like they're trying to conform too much, but they really don't know how to step into their voice, their messaging, to bring all that to the forefront. You know, it's frightening, it's scary. It's like, I'm like, just go, come on, let's go. And just get them moving. That's all you've got to do is move. And the hardest thing sometimes is that first step, like go. Come on, you've got this. You can do this. Just go, move. You know what to do. Trust yourself, lead. You know, speak, share, post, go live, create the podcast, do whatever it is that you want to do the YouTube channel, whatever. What do you feel called to do? Let's do it. Less thinking, more doing. Less thinking, more action. Okay? One of the ways personally that has been some of the most challenging things for me has been when I've been in a relationship that isn't serving me anymore, and I know it's not. And what I mean by not serving me anymore is when I've been in a relationship and I am not happy, and work has been attempted, as in there's been like, I've tried communicating, I've tried to share what it is that, you know, I want, I'm willing to do the work, like what can we do? And then being in that situation and then like hoping that over time, things will get better. Over time, things will change. I will keep showing up and doing what I'm doing. And then when this gets better, when that improves, when that changes, things will change and things will get better. And for me, I'm not someone who is, if I'm committed to something, I'm committed to it. I'm loyal. I'm there. And I'm doing whatever it is, whatever it takes to like to be the best version of me in that. And I've found that personally for me, when I've been in relationships where I'm just like, okay, I feel like I've done everything that I can do in this relationship, and things don't seem to be changing. Things seem to be getting worse. And what's happening in this relationship now, ultimately, isn't what I want. How this is going, how the other person's behaving, this isn't what I want. And the hard decision there is knowing that the best course of action is ending that relationship. And ending like a relationship like that when there's kids involved, it's like a big decision. And it's a decision that takes years. It can take like sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years to come to that decision. Because if you're anything like me, it's like I will put the work in. I will do my best. I will try whatever it is that, I need to try. And if it's still not working, then I've got to go, right, well, I've done all the things. Is this other person doing the things? And in like my experience, when it's been a no, it's been, well, what is it that I actually want? Because if I want what it is that I'm saying that I want, and my environment and my actions, the people around me, like aren't supporting that, even though I'm communicating that, then the only person that can change this right now is me. That's some hard shit. Because the guilt, the shame, like the feeling of failure, all of those feelings in those moments come up, and it's not just a day processing. It's months. It can be years processing. And when I've worked with clients one-to-one, it's been these types of decisions, like it's the big decisions. It's like been this relationship either isn't working, or things are happening in the relationship that need to change, and I don't actually know what to do. And it's been the communication that we've had to work on. But ultimately, I have helped like clients like exit relationships that weren't right for either party. It's just they were stuck together out of habit. That is hard. But what I want to share is on the other side of taking the action, even though it's hard, but it was the action that aligned with what it was that I wanted, like deep down wanted. As soon as I took that action and I moved, everything fell into place. I became aligned, I became a magnet, and I manifested all the things that I wanted, but that weren't happening while I was in that environment. And that's like some big, like, scary thing to do. It takes courage. I know how it feels. I know how hard it is. And on the other side of it, I also know that everything that you want is on the other side of a big, scary decision and a big change. I'm not saying it has to be a relationship change, but in my experience, for me, it has been. For example, professionally. So when I first started my coaching business, and I was like looking around at what everyone else was doing to try and get an idea of like what courses to launch, and how to speak to clients, and what courses we're selling and all of that, and what looks good, and I did all the brand shoots, and I did the logo and the colours, and I tried to do the email thing, and like just wanted to the tech side of stuff just does not light my soul up at all. But I persevered, and I did my best, and I created my first program. And it was a good program, but it didn't light my sacral on fire. Now, if you're into human design, or even if you're not into human design, the sacral, because I'm a Mani-Gen, if you know your human design, please let me know your human design. I'm a 5-1 Mani-Gen with a sacral authority. So for me, I feel it here. I feel it. It's like if something is for me, I feel it in my body. It's like a sacral, ooh, and I'll know. I am drawn to it. And you'll find this in your life. There will be things, there will be people, there will be experiences, there will just be things out there. Artists, creatives, music, TV programs, whatever, colours, home decor, that you are drawn to, that make you go, ooh, like you really like it. And everyone's got different taste. And when I was first growing my business and I had my first course, it's like I was trying to create it to look a certain way, to appeal to people so that it looked professional. Amanda says, Mandy Jen here. Yes, Queen. And a 5-1, I believe. In 5-1, Mandy? Sacral. Vibes. And I started to, like I said, look and sound like everyone else because I thought that is what would work and that is what would sell. And I attracted a few clients, and they were amazing clients because they did stay in my world for a long time. They're still here. However, when I decided that I was like, right, this is not lighting me up. Like, I want to do something that, like, I am really passionate about. And I actually invested, it was in a law of attraction business program, and it was to really help go deeper on, like, working with the universe. Like, stay with me here. Like, I love all the universe vibes, spirituality. I was like, from a manifesting point of view, like, what is it that I really want to bring to the world? How do I want to help people? How do I want to serve people? And it was in that program, I think it was a 3-month program, where I was like, yeah, this program just isn't it. And it's in that experience that I birthed Confident, Sexy, Empowered, which became one of my signature programs, which was really helping women to become confident, sexy, and empowered, because that had been my experience, my journey. And I was like, I really want to help other women to feel this way, you know, to change their beliefs about themselves, to love themselves and their body, to feel sexy, to feel sensual, to feel empowered, to feel all the things. Like, it's a vibe. My sacral is just like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And it was when I led with that program, and when I led with the messaging, when I led with the branding, I allowed myself to be creative. I allowed myself to be edgy. I allowed, like, me and my personality to really come through in my marketing, in my messaging, in my branding, that things start to take off in my business. And Mandy, who's here on this call, has actually done Confident, Sexy, Empowered. And I'll have clients, like, from, like, way back when, who used to, like, find me on socials, because at the time when I was marketing in, like, my huge pole heels and all the things, it did cause a bit of a ruckus with certain people in my life. Like, why are you posting pictures like that on the internet? Why are you wearing those ridiculous heels? It's what strippers wear. Why are you marketing yourself? Like, why are you saying these things? Why are you being so bold? Like, you just, basically, you need to just tone it down. Think about it. You've got kids, you're a mum. But what about family? What about people? What are people going to think? And I was like, I cannot live my life worried about what people are going to think, because I'm not here to work a traditional job. I'm not here to be conventional. I'm not here to be understood by everybody. And when we live life like that, and when we lead like that, and when we, in business, when we lead like that, you can find that when you are trying to appeal and make everyone else happy, and you're trying to get everyone else's approval and trying to keep the peace with everyone, you are the one who ends up miserable. You are the one who ends up bored. You're the one who ends up, especially in business, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, if you're not connected to it, if you're not bringing, like, for me anyway, like, for me, it's like bringing that fire. I'm an Aries sign. So, like, Aries as my sign is like, I am a fire sign, and I know this about myself. So for me, bringing a bit of heat, bringing a bit of edge, bringing a bit of passion, like Manny Jen vibes, is all about that. If I haven't got that, then I'm not connected to what I'm doing and my brand. And then I will find it harder to show up in my business. Oh, Mandy's a 2-4. Very interesting, Mandy. I like that. I like that. So when it comes to business, and again, if we look at, like, personally and professionally, what it is that you want in your business, how do you want it to feel? How do you want to feel running your business? How do you want it to look? How do you want it to be? There are going to be elements, like with life, that aren't a vibe. There are going to be elements in your business that aren't a vibe. But if everything isn't a vibe, then do you know what we're even doing? You've got to bring an element of that. If you want to have, like, a life different to most people, then you've got to be prepared to do things differently. And you've got to be okay with being misunderstood. You've got to be okay with doing things a little bit unconventionally. Because the thing is, your soul and who you are here to be, who you are here to help, who you are here to serve, will, like, be drawn to you like a magnet when you are you. when you speak like you, when you are just, I say unapologetic, and with an unapologetic, I think sometimes this word can be misunderstood. Because unapologetic to me doesn't mean going out there and being rude to people. It just means being me. You know, being creative. I'm very artistic. I love creativity. I love like artists that are in their like sensuality, their sexuality, they're powerful, they're bold, they have that fire. It's very much in alignment, obviously, with like who I am at my core. I connect with that. And so both personally and professionally, I like to connect with that. When I'm listening to music, I'll listen to that type of music. I'll like indulge in that kind of like art and creativity. In my business, like when I'm creating something, when I'm passionate about something, I'll bring that edge and that spice and that to it because it's fun for me. Sod everyone else, it's like a vibe for me. And the thing, what has happened is by me leading like that in my business, I've attracted clients that are just like, love it. I love it. Or intrigued, triggered. What is she doing? I'm not really sure. But I'm going to stick around because there's something about her, but also she irritates me or she triggers me or there's something inside of me that feels like this and I'm not sure what that is. But then also I listen to her speak, I watch her lives and I actually quite like her, so I don't quite get what's going on quite like right now. And then they end up working with me, so that's another vibe. But this is the thing, you will not get misaligned clients or negative Nelly clients when you are you. When you are trying to appeal to everyone, you will attract the wrong people. When you are trying to please everyone else, you will attract the wrong people. I found this with family members. I found this with friends in terms of like who I spend time with. I found this with clients. I found this in my like intimate relationships is, you know, our vibe attracts our tribe ultimately. And so you getting clear on what it is that you want is how do you want to feel? Personally, professionally. If you're in a good place and you're just like, oh, I'm not really sure, go to the vibes and ask yourself how you want to feel. This isn't set in stone. It's not permanent. It will change and evolve as you do. So sometimes like just making the decision, you're like, well, I'm not really sure. Just make a decision now. It might change tomorrow. It may change the next day. We'll be on a new timeline then. So that's fine. It's okay to evolve and change as the days go. Just choose today because that's all we have. Today, then today, then today, then today. What feels vibes today? How do you want to feel? Focus on that. Off you go. Focus on that. Lead. What action aligns with that? Go. And if you're in a place of survival, like I said at the beginning, if you're in a place of survival, you're finding it hard to connect to anything outside of where you are, then give yourself grace. Give yourself compassion. Give yourself self-love. Subscribe to this podcast, please. Go to the YouTube channel, watch it on there. Keep listening to this. Be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. And I can guarantee that in less time than you could even imagine, by doing this type of work, you will flow out of survival and into alignment. And then you will be in a place to go, this is what I want. You'll have space for clarity. So I'm going to wrap this one up now because I can talk for Britain. We've been here for nearly an hour. I don't know how I do it. But I would love for you to subscribe. I should say all this at the beginning, but here we are. I'll get better at this. I would love for you to subscribe, whether you are following me on Facebook, whether you are over on YouTube, whether you are over on the podcast. If you want to be on all three, vibes. Just hit the subscribe button wherever you are. If you're on Facebook, follow me. If you're on YouTube, podcast, you want to follow me on socials, then find me on socials. It's Louise Elizabeth Blood over on Facebook and also on Instagram as well. And then if you want to find out more about the offers that I currently have for my coaching, then just head to the links in my bio, either on Instagram or on Facebook, and I will also drop the links in the sort of the notes for the show on podcast and also on YouTube as well. And if you still can't find them, just DM me, find me somewhere, and I know that you will anyway, so it's all fine. I don't need to stress about it. So whatever you're doing for the rest of your day, enjoy your day. Get clear on what it is that you want. Okay. If you've loved this episode and you think that you know someone that you just like, this is exactly what they need to hear, this is exactly what energy they need to be around, then share this with them. Tag them in this, whatever feels vibes, whatever platform you're on, invite them to the podcast, invite them to the YouTube, whatever, just share the vibes. This is a free podcast. I'm going to be going live every single week here on Facebook. It's then going to go across to YouTube. It's going to go to the podcast. This is free to plug into. And if you've got any questions after listening to an episode, please let me know. And then also, if there's anything that you'd love me to cover on the podcast, any questions, any topics, just reach out to me. And if it feels aligned, I will do a podcast episode on it, because I love to serve. So there we go. So again, wishing you an amazing rest of your day, and I will see and speak to you all next week.